Hey everyone, Jared here. For the past few years, every time the holidays starts approaching, I started looking for deals on new 4K TVs, but never found one I thought was worth my money. Well, this is the LG 55UH8500. It's one of LG's new 4K OLED HDR TVs, and it's brilliant. While it's not the most affordable option, it's certainly not the most expensive either, landing somewhere in the middle at about $1,200 US. Aesthetically speaking, it's a sexy looking TV. It's got this aluminum bezel look with the glass panel looking like it's sort of floating, which is cool. And unlike its bigger brothers, the internal speakers are housed inside on the bottom so that if you wanted to, you can mount a soundbar without it looking odd or out of place. And while on the topic, the speakers are from Harden Kardon, which is one of the most reputable brands in the world for audio products, and the sound is phenomenal. Does it replace my 2.1 soundbar system? Not quite, but I'll tell you this, if you're going for the most minimalistic looking home theater setup, this TV should provide you with more than adequate audio for not only movies and TV shows, but also music. Like, I've come home countless times to my wife blasting music through the TV instead of her Bluetooth speaker because it sounds that good. And it supports the ability to play audio not only through the internal speakers, but also through the optical output at the same time, which is awesome. But of course, audio doesn't mean squat if the display quality isn't there, which it is. So this is an IPS OLED panel, which means you're going to get deeper blacks, better contrast, a wider color gamut, and much better viewing angles. Perfect for those of you that host sports parties or have multiple friends over for gaming, so everyone in the room, no matter where they're sitting, can see the image clearly. And while 3D isn't as hot as it used to be, it still exists, and the UH8500 supports passive 3D with 2 pairs of 3D glasses that come in the box. It's not something my wife and I use that often, but when we do, it works as advertised. It also supports something called dual play, which essentially lets 2 people playing games on the same TV see their own screen, so no more split screen view, which is just amazing for the gamers out there. It also supports HDR or Dolby Vision when it comes to LG TVs. Now, although there isn't a ton of HDR content available at the moment, Netflix and Amazon Video are working quick to add to what they already offer. On Netflix specifically, you can already find some HDR content like Marco Polo, which is an awesome show by the way, and when viewed in HDR, it looks amazing, expanding the contrast with brighter whites and darker blacks and deeper colors. But if you're not watching in HDR, there's several picture profiles to choose from depending on your personal viewing preference, as well as the type and amount of lighting in your room. And most of them are dialed in pretty good, but personally, I found that the standard and expert darkroom profiles were most to my liking, but with some tweaks that I got from avsforum.com after hours and hours of going through this TV's specific thread. So now I have the perfect bright room picture settings for during the day and the perfect darkroom settings for night. Having said that, if you're a real stickler for the blackest of blacks at night, the UH8500 isn't the best compared to other similar offerings from other brands, as blacks can tend to look a little gray at times. Though, thanks to that wide color gamut that complements the HDR feature nicely, colors are deep, fairly accurate, and well saturated. By jumping into the TV settings, you can really dial in the look you're going for with the overwhelming amount of picture settings. Seriously, it gets pretty crazy with what you can do. The UH8500 comes with WebOS 3.0. I like it. It doesn't look too cartoony. LG has made it really easy to access the apps I use the most, and I love that almost all the apps that I use with my Chromecast have a native app for WebOS, so I can use them directly through the TV. Although compared to some other TV offerings, the amount of apps available is a little less than I would have preferred. For instance, while it does have Google Play Movies and Google Maps, not sure why I'd need that one anyways, it doesn't have Google Play Music, which for me was really disappointing. So if I want a seamless music app experience, I'll have to switch to Spotify, which is kind of a bummer. So here's hoping LG expands its smart TV app offerings soon. The Magic Remote is fantastic. It's got a very ergonomic design, which my wife loves, but I, on the other hand, am not a fan of the shape because it's unbalanced. But it has this really handy scroll wheel, which I use all the time, and a mouse pointer, which makes navigating the menus, apps, and everything else super easy. But even though it has a button to turn the mouse pointer on, it doesn't turn it off. The back of the TV is white, which some of you might not like, but personally, I don't think it's a big deal because you never see the back anyways, and there's only 3 HDMI ports, which has a lot of people disappointed apparently, but again, personally, it doesn't really affect me since I don't have any gaming consoles or video peripherals connected other than my Chromecast, you know, for streaming Google Play Music. There's a network port for getting the best internet connection for 4K streaming, but luckily for me, my Wi-Fi router is not 4 feet from the TV, and so far I haven't had any issues whatsoever streaming 4K HDR content. So it's a pretty rad TV for about $1,200 US, but while I wouldn't say it's the best at any one thing, it's pretty damn good at everything. So if you're looking for one of the best all-around 4K OLED HDR capable TVs, this is the ticket. But if you're looking for the most realistic, cinematic experience, you'll probably want to expand your TV budget by several $1,000s. So I'm pretty well happy with this guy, especially after talking with a TV service technician friend of mine who said that LG has hands down the best after sales and warranty support of any TV manufacturer out there, which is a really big deal for me, and it should be for you too. If you want to learn more in extreme detail, I'll leave a link to the AVS forum thread I read through as well as an Amazon link, but that about does it for me. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll talk to you all in the next one. Cheers.